Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are in episode 6, so in the second half of our syllabus. And now we're going to get into some of those details of planning again, Adam, which is we talked about planning for diet breaks and the extended amount of time that it may take you to get ready. But what about those risks right out of the gate numbers? How are we going to make sure that we're hitting the right kind of macronutrient profile, energy balance needs? This is another place I think a lot of people tend to overestimate because we know coming off of an off season, your metabolism is very fresh, thriving, you've been eating to maintain. That initial drop in calorie intake to start the process of fat loss and maintain it, that's often a bigger downward step than people anticipate. So I see a lot of times, even in coaches, where you feel like it's the wrong move to drop things too soon. And so all of a sudden you've gone 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you've barely moved the needle. And all of a sudden you've lost an entire month. This is very difficult even for coaches. So how do you approach that?
I think that was a really great lead into this. One of the biggest things I see are coaches maybe not moving calories low enough with that initial move. Everyone wants to eat more if they can. But the biggest thing you have to remember with that first move is that this person is likely no longer losing body fat when they're in the peak of their off season. So, it might be typical to move, 30, 40 carbs for somebody, but that's when they're losing. Now you've got someone who might actually be increasing weight. So that needle really needs to go the other way to get into that, spot where you're losing body fat. If you just move that needle down a little bit, you're just going to down-regulate their metabolism a little bit and then not have enough of a push to actually lose body fat. So big mistake that we typically see there. And then also I think people are just sometimes delusional or just are caring too much about what, Blondie Girl 625's eating on Instagram when they're eating way less. And, one of the golden rules of contest prep is it's about how you look, not how much you can eat. Now, I'm not saying everyone should be on a 900 calorie diet with that statement, but you do have to realize food isn't necessarily the goal. It's nice if you have it, but you don't have to have it to win.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I was doing a lecture alongside Brian Whitaker, 6 or 7 time lightweight WNBF world champion. And here's a guy who's, he's just a prolific weightlifter. This is a guy who's just, deadlifting, squatting 600, 700 pounds in the off season. He gains 30 pounds and still has abs. He just looks massive. And so I thought for sure he gets so freaking lean, right? Like his glutes are like a brick wall. So I thought this is a guy who's probably got the world's greatest metabolism. Then when I learned that his typical, very moderate protein, low fat diet included cycling carbs between like 90 grams of carbs a day to 120 to 150, 90, 120, 150. I'm like, wow. Like that's as low as any of my lowest metabolically, challenged clients. And yet you're doing this for 6 months, but that's the cost of getting to the kind of world champion level condition. And so many people think, your joke with an Instagram person, like, oh, this is the outlier who does have the world's greatest metabolism. So that's now the gold standard. That's not reality. I love the fact that you use the word delusional here because that stops a lot of people from hitting the mark.
I'm glad you mentioned Brian because he's someone that I have talked through with Core Nutritionals, and he talked to me a little bit about his cycle, and I was like, are you a big carb cycling fan? And he said, and I was glad to hear this because I thought he was going to tell me yes, but he's like, I only do the cycle more so to hit those low points and to continue, your conversation. He has had a couple preps where he's gone down to like 50 grams of carbs, maybe twice a week, again, cycling, but those 50-gram days are just to hit those low points. He said it's only sustainable for me to do for about 1 to 2 days, and that's it. So, but yeah, you're looking at one of the world's best bodybuilders of all time in the WNBF.
And you're, to his point, you're doing what you have to do. I know he has had other preps that were a little bit different. So maybe the time of season, maybe how long of an off season he had, but you just do what you have to do. And you know, to plan for that and account for it ahead of time where you can give yourself that space is what's important. So you guys, thanks so far for staying in here. Stay tuned. We still have, I believe, 4 more to go, but we're gonna finish out the syllabus to make sure you have everything you need for a great contest prep.